I'm making the same amount of money that I make at work with my salary and what I'm making on my side hustles. I'm like, at this time I'm tired. At this time I am drained. Hello there and welcome to NJUKI'S Perspective. This is a channel where we talk about everything to do with self-growth and self-development. So if that is something that you vibe with, please be sure to click that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and if this story time is going to resonate with you, be sure to leave me a comment, alright? Straight into the video. Admittedly, I'm no good storyteller. I have never told a story here in this YouTube channel or elsewhere, so I don't know how this is going to be. It might be an epic success or an epic fail. Either way, we're going to find out. And then I don't know why I've always had these other content creators saying this, but now today it has happened to me. When you want to film, when you just pick up the camera, that is when everybody and their grandmothers, they want to shout, they want to sing, they want to, my God. So if you hear some bit of noise outside, and then my phone picks up everything. I don't know why it picks up, and then it magnifies the sound. So anyway, if you hear any sounds, please ignore. I'm going to do my best to remove that background noise with just a bit of music. But anyway, let's get into the story time. So today's story time is how I quit my job, my first job, that is. I think it's only fair that I start with how I started the job, how it was, and then to the final decision now where I decided I was gonna quit. I'm not going to be naming names. Maybe I'll just use ABC company just for reference. Yes, and ease of, telling the story. Hey there, before you watch this video, I just wanted to put this disclaimer. This is only meant for entertainment. It is not meant to bash anyone. It is not meant to paint anyone in a negative image. Also, it is only created through my own perspective. Someone else might have had a different experience and a different perspective. So please take that into consideration. It is also not meant to say that this is the best way to quit a job. In fact, it is not advised that you quit a job in this way. So please take that into advisement. However, now that we have that out of the way, please enjoy the video. So I was straight out of uni. It was in December 2018. Yes, 2018. That is when I finished my 4th year. We used to do trimester in the university I graduated out of Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology, that is JKUAT, Juja Boys, if you know. So anyway, 2018 we finished our fourth year that semester, and so we are supposed to graduate in either June, and in our campus there were 2 graduations. I don't know if that's still the case. In June, one in June and the other one in November. So if you didn't get the June cohort, you would graduate in the November cohort. That is how it used to be. So I finished in 2018 December, and I started applying for jobs because, my God, I didn't want to go back home. I didn't want to start depending on anyone. That was just a no for me. So I started applying for jobs immediately, and luckily I got this job. They called me in for an interview. For context, our university was in Nairobi, and then this job was up country in a place called NJUKI. So they called me for an interview, and I decided, yeah, I'm gonna go. It was a small company, but as I always say, don't be very selective with your first job, because it will at least give you a foundation and also something to, stay afloat. And also, I didn't mind the town. NJUKI is for me, I love NJUKI. It's always been a very cool town to me. So I didn't mind working there. So I go for the interview. It's a really, really small company, but I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna do it, because the alternative is I start now depending on people for sustenance, and for me that has never been an option, right? So I go for the interview, and of course I sell myself very confidently. I'm like, yes, I can do this, and blah blah blah. So the person is like, yeah, we're going to be paying you 10,000 10,000 Kenya shillings. I'm like, it's okay, I'm gonna take it because the alternative is worse. I'm gonna take it. And now the catch was, I go for the interview on Thursday, then on Monday I'm supposed to report. And I'm supposed to move from Nairobi to Nanyuki within that short period. And from how I got you'll come to realize later, the place was toxic AF. All right? Yes, it was. But anyway, so I'm told, yeah, we can't allow you to maybe take a few days off. You need to come back. You need to report on Monday, or there's no job. All right, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna figure it out. So that specific day I start house hunting. Luckily, like I got a house that was just in the vicinity of the organization, so I get this person to clean for me. And anyway, I didn't have a lot of stuff to move. I just had like a mattress, a couple of sufurias, and like just a few stuff, you know. So I'm like, yeah, okay, let me figure out. I always do, I'll figure it out. I was getting transport options, and they were really expensive. So I decided, let me check in with a friend who drives, who can help me move, and then I fuel for them their car. So that is what happens. I called this friend of mine. We were in the same class in uni, and then I'm like, hey, can you help me move to Nanyuki? There are not that much items, so we'll just, pack them, and yeah, and then I'll fuel for you. So he's like, yeah, cool, let's do it. In any case, we have an extra home in Nanyuki, so it will be a road trip for me to home. So I'm like, cool. So when you want something, honestly, the whole universe conspires to help you achieve it. That is a saying by Eckhart Tolle, and I really, really live by that quote. Like, when you want something, the universe will conspire to help you. So it's on Thursday. Friday, I've already gotten someone to help me move. So we move on Sunday. I go, I settle in, and on Monday I'm at work, and I start working. A long story short, the place was not as healthy as I would have liked it to be. I noticed some people being treated a certain type of way. There was shouting, there was micromanagement, and all that stuff. At that time, I don't know what the owner or the manager, I don't know what he was on, because he used to come and shout at everyone and cause chaos. He was that type of a person who, when he enters through the gate, everyone is like scampering into their offices and stuff, and then there are CCTVs in the office, and you'll be called to the HR's office if like you went to someone's office and stayed like a bit too long. So they are calling you like, we are looking at this CCTV and you were in this person's office for 5 minutes. What were you doing? Like stuff like that. So anyway, that's what I mean by toxic. But anyway, later on, this person who owns this organization becomes like, like a whole 360 degrees. Hey, you said people can't change, people can change. That guy changed like a whole 360, and like business was good for him, and so the organization was thriving. Even throughout COVID, the organization was thriving. So I worked there in 2019, 2020, and 2021. So I worked there, but now it was a really small organization. It comes to December of 2021. Sorry, I took a break. It sort of disoriented me. Anyway, so I think it was in 2022, not 2021. It was in 2022. I started looking into online writing as a way to making extra money. So I have this friend of mine who has been doing online writing like for the longest time. So there was a time when he saw my blog, and he was like, oh, you are a really good writer. Why haven't you ever considered it as a way to make an extra coin? So I'm like, I didn't take it seriously. But then after a while, maybe in 2022, January, thereabout, I went back to him and I'm like, I think I'm interested. Like, will you teach me how it's done? And then like, how will I get extra cash? And like, he's like, all right, I'll teach you. And as a matter of fact, I do have an extra writing account. So if you've ever done online writing, you know what that means, which I can be giving you a job out of. And then like we can be sharing the proceeds. All right. So I'm like, that sounds good. Either way, I enjoy writing. Like when I'm pen on paper or laptop and my fingers, I really type away and I write. And I'm a really, really good writer. That is one thing I know about myself. So we start working together. That was like in January, February of 2022 thereabout. So we worked together the entire year, and like I'm making some good money. I'm pushing myself, working extra hours in the morning and at night. And then mid 2022, I bumped into this setup, or anyway, website where you read books, you review them, and then you get paid for that. So that was a really interesting opportunity because I love reading books as well. So I was reviewing books, I was reading and also writing. And that platform is called Online Book Club. I don't want to keep information. If it can help you, go check it out. Online Book Club, they pay people to review books. But you have to read it and they have very stringent rules, that's for sure. Anyway, so mid 2022, I'm making the same amount of money that I make at work with my salary and what I'm making on my side hustles. So I'm like, wow, okay, all right, this is nice. So anyway, leading towards the end of the year at work, I get assigned this role of looking for an ERP system. So the person who owns the business was looking for an online enterprise resource planning system. And so that is something I also enjoyed, by the way. So I'm contacting these organizations that do ERP systems, and I'm calling them in to come and do illustrations, and like I've done one too many, and he's not still pleased with any of them. So I get to a point, like there is one that I was really vouching for, like it was really good. It could meet all the needs that he had at the time. So like I've even called these guys, they have come, they have done the setup for a free trial, and so I have fed the data, and it was a lot of data actually. So I want to see how this system can work so that I present to my boss. And I do that actually. I feed the systems and I do the presentation, but he's like, something is still missing. Like there's one thing that it can't do. I'm like, but they said they can tailor make that, they can edit the system to fit to your needs, right? So but they are like, okay, let's just try others. At this time I'm tired, at this time I am drained. I don't want to look for any more systems because there are no more systems to be found within the price points that I have been provided. All right, so I am drained. I don't want to keep doing this over and over again, and it has just it has reached me here. If you know, you know. So he started getting angry, and he's like, they are taking it out on me. And then in December, I can't remember, it was the December 6th 2022, he comes into the office. He's like spewing things onto me, and he's saying like, no, you're not even doing your work, blah 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 blah. I told you to start looking for an extra system. I don't know. I was angry. Earlier I had not considered online writing as an exit, but in December, like when he started doing all those things and telling me this about these systems, I was like, no, I can't take it anymore. I can't. I was like, maybe I can consider online writing as a recourse, because this friend that I mentioned has been doing online writing. That was the sole source of income for them, and it had been sustaining them for a very long time. So I was like, if this person is doing it, then why can't I do it? And then I admired like how flexible they were with their time, and just that autonomy, And at the time, online writing was really making some good money. So I was like, if I'm making this much while I'm still working my full-time job, how much more can I make when I'm not working for anyone? So I was like, let's go. That day, on the 6th of December, I was running an errand for the organization. But then after this guy has stepped into the office and he has like spewed all this like insults and everything, and he has rushed out of me, I was like, I am done. This is the last task I'm performing for this organization, and then I'm done. So I was supposed to go to the town center to file some taxes or something. I was supposed to pay to KRA for taxes anyway. So I do that, but in my mind I know that's the last thing I'm gonna ever do. So I call my friend who does online writing and I'm like, hey, I think I want to quit. And they're like, are you sure? Are you sure? I'm like, nothing you can say can change my mind, but I just wanted to tell someone I want to quit. So that afternoon, I go and draft my resignation letter. And I stay the entire day at work. I'm very jovial. I'm talking to people. And then at 5, I send the resignation letter to the HR, to the manager, and I'm like, anything that I have that belongs to the company, I'm leaving here, and that's it. I quit. And actually, I have the video that I took that day walking home after I had quit.
So hi, I'm walking home. I have just quit my 9 to 5, and maybe I'll show you in another video how that happened, but I'm no longer employed. And do I have a plan? Yeah, I do have a plan, and I'm praying that it goes well the way I've planned it. And oh yeah, I don't know how I feel. There's a feeling of excitement. There's a feeling of curiosity for what life holds ahead. There's a feeling of hope. There's a feeling of determination, because now I know I'm not expecting a pay slip at the end of the month, and so I know if I don't put in effort, I'll not get anything. Yeah, so that just happened. I don't know. I think this is just the path that God wants me to take. For now, and I'll embrace it fully. Okay, so yeah, I'm happy. So today is the 6th of December 2022. Yeah, so I genuinely don't know how to feel. I don't know, but I'm hopeful. I'm hoping for the best.
It had not really hit me like, what have I just done? I have just quit my job without a guarantee of, like, you know, when you're used to having a guaranteed source of income and you go into self-employment where there's no guaranteed source of, like, a guaranteed source of income, and you have to work to earn, it can be challenging, right? So I walk home and I've resigned, and like I take the next 2 days like of just relaxing and strategizing and everything. So at the time, I also bumped into this online training session about Upwork. It was also something else that I wanted to look into, because Upwork has more flexibility. You can get a client who can pay well, and then it's like a long-term contract. So I did that. And like when I said that when you want something, the entire universe conspires to help you find it. Honestly, I mean it. Like, the whole universe helped me, because I applied for Upwork to, like, I sent my proposal to a couple of clients, and then I got a client. I was so happy. I remember his name was Martin. Like, I got a client called Martin, and I was working for him doing some articles on home renovations and like things along that line, homemaking and home renovations. I was so happy because it was something that I was finding so much joy. I had the most autonomy in my life. Then like so I was making a lot of money. Well, a lot is relative, you know, but at the time, given my age, I was making enough to sustain me. Sunday is the ultimate ghetto. Like, there's a lot of distractions happening out there. I keep having to pause, but anyway, we're almost done, right? And also, it's getting a bit dark. So anyway, and I don't understand why those kids are not getting into their homes. It's already anyway. So I get this client on Upwork. I'm making enough to sustain myself and to even save and to do some, fun activities. So I'm like, yes, this is what I want to do. But now the challenge with online writing is that you have to work to earn. Like, if you're not working, you're not earning. And honestly, that's, I don't know, in any entrepreneurial journey, I think that's the challenge, because it's like, unlike employment where, like, on weekends you don't really need to be hands-on, but with such arrangements that are, not white collar, you have to be working to be earning. So anyway, I worked for this guy for a long time, like for a while, until around July, until July, around 2023, now July. But then with the rise of AI, like, it's easier to, like, generate content rather than hire someone to do it. So the jobs reduced drastically, and so Martin was like, hey, I would really wish to keep you, but unfortunately I can't sustain. So he was like, it's okay, like, maybe in the future we'll work together. And then from there, like, jobs on Upwork, I don't think even until now it has recovered, like, that industry has recovered, because, like, now there's a lot of AIs that are getting really good. But anyway, so I am like, now what's the next recourse? The next recourse is to now start thinking about applying to jobs. But also, it's important to note that I had never said I would never go back to employment. I was just taking a hiatus from employment, from a very toxic situation, to just, Anyway, so I started applying to jobs, and in August of 2023, I get the current job that I'm in. Yeah, it was like really funny. Again, I was called into the interview on Thursday, and I was supposed to report on Monday. I don't know what's with me and Thursdays and Mondays, but that was the setup. So I got this job that I am in. And honestly, once again, like, once you want something and you have pure intentions, the universe will help you find it. Because honestly, I didn't stay that long out of employment, and I think God has just sustained me, and the universe has sustained me. So yeah, anyway, that's how I quit my job, and then I got back into employment. I think it's important for me to highlight, like, maybe what factors should you look into before you quit your job, and, like, when to know, like, it's time to quit your job. And also, what I learned throughout the period I was out of formal employment. Here are some, very quickly, red flags that you need to quit your job. 1, you feel drained. The work environment is toxic. And then also, you don't feel challenged, like, by the workplace. There's that famous quote that if it doesn't challenge you, it doesn't make you grow, something of the sort. But if you're not feeling challenged anymore, maybe it's time to upgrade or to change your environment. And then, how do you know, like, I will quit? Before you quit, please make sure that you have something that will sustain you, because again, you don't want to just quit and then what? Like, you need to know that if I quit, I'm still able to sustain myself and my current lifestyle, and maybe I have some savings, or I have, like, something to fall back on. Okay, when you start the thing that you're going to be in, like, there's something called the beginner's luck. Like, when you start something, like, there's always that good luck that you will encounter. Of course, there will come challenges later, but at first you will get that beginner's luck. Try and maximize on it as much as possible. Yeah. And what did I learn during my time out of formal employment? 1, that discipline is very important, because when you're not in formal employment, no one is telling you do this, no one is telling you, like, finish this task. If you don't make money and you don't get sustenance, so discipline, that is something that I really learned during my time out of formal employment. And then number 2 is that it's challenging. Honestly, being out of formal employment is challenging. But anyway, if that is the line of work that you're called to, please, everyone is called into their own line of work. At this point in my journey, I'm in formal employment and I really appreciate it. But if you're right now in your season, you're in out of formal employment, I wish you luck. Yeah, but honestly, it requires a lot of discipline. If you're out there and you're looking into non-formal employment, just know it needs discipline and it needs a lot of planning and time management. Yeah, but anyway, so that has been my journey. I really hope you enjoyed that, and yeah, I will catch you in the next video. If you have questions, please leave them in the comment section. Any feedback, leave it in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.